Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to Code with Vengi. Today we'll see a LeetCode question, average time of process for mission. Here is the given table activity which contains mission ID, process, activity type and timestamp. Here the table shows the user activity for a factory website with mission ID and process ID and activity type. These three are as a primary keys for this table, and we need to find uh, time duration, which mission takes how much time to complete the process. So we'll jump into here are some conditions. This is a factory where website that has several missions, each running the same number of process. Write a solution to find the average time each mission takes to complete process. So here we need to find the average time of each mission takes to complete a process. The time to complete a process is nothing but taking end time stamp minus start time stamp and divide the result with number of process on each mission. So we need to return the result. The resulting table should have mission ID along with average time as processing time, which should be rounded to 3 decimal places. Okay, he will jump into the example test cases. Here input table activity table is given, which contains mission ID, process ID, activity type and timestamp. Here you can observe the output should be in like mission ID, process time. So I will apply my logic here. Before going to solution, please try pause the video and try for your solution. I will use here. We need to before going to solution, like we need to get time, start time and end time, and start time and end time, right, for each process and with each mission ID and process ID. So for that I'm need to write a query, and I will put that as one temp in one temp table, and I will apply the logic to get that to get the expected output on using temp table. Okay, for that I'm writing with, I will mark this as process duration as okay. So here I will write this solution like select mission ID, simply copy it, mission ID comma process ID, and we need to select duration, right? For duration we want activity type and timestamp, and we need to see whether we are taking mission ID and process ID, like for 00 for mission ID 0 and process ID 0, we have two rows here, right? Start and end time. So we need to make sure we are taking the correct start time and end time. So for that I'm using case bigger case when activity type. I'm using max here to find the correct start time and end time. So is equal to, if the activity type is end, okay, the activity time is end, then only we'll select timestamp. Okay, this minus, we need to take similar to this, we need to take max, I mean starting process, right, start time. So max case when activity type is equal to activity type is equal to, here activity type is start, so we'll take start, then only we'll take the timestamp, and I will mark this as duration. Okay, we are taking this from activity table, right? Activity table, and here is the logic, like we need to group the mission and process IDs, right? So if you are taking duration, so from where you are taking like one mission duration we are taking, right? Like it has a starting time and end time, and one mission can have multiple process IDs. So for that we need to map mission ID and process ID and duration. So for that I'm using group by class, group by, and here in group by we are grouping mission ID comma process ID as one group. Okay, so here we applied logic to get duration for duration taken by each mission to complete the process. So here then we need to find the average time, right? So for that I'm writing select. In average time we need to, I mean in output we need to mention these columns. So, mission ID comma average of duration. Here we have duration, right, in this table, temp table. So average of duration as mentioned in the problem, we need to put process time, average process time as processing time. Okay, we need to select this from this temp table, right, not from the original table. Select from duration, right, duration, and we need to group here by as mentioned in the output table, we are grouping by mission ID. Okay, so here you can see the solution whether it is working or fine or not. I hope it is. Yeah, here already mentioned the rounded to 3 decimals, right? So for that I will use round average time, and here round function takes two parameters. One is uh, number, and another one is whether how many decimals you want, how many decimal places you want for this given data. So I will take this as processing time and we'll run for test cases whether it is working fine or not. Yeah, here you can observe it is working fine for this given test cases. We'll submit for hidden test cases too, whether it is working fine for hidden test cases or not. Yeah, here you can see it is working fine. So this is the solution for average time of process for mission. Yeah, thank you guys, hope you like the video. Please do subscribe. If you have any queries, please do comment. I will come back to you. Thank you. Bye bye.